feel this vibe. Something in your eyes feels like the first time. Feels like the first time.
Look at this. Who says non-ferrous scrap recycling can't look absolutely fabulous? Merchant here for the purple HENNCHEE cooling vest. Are you following me, camera guy? This isn't a regular jacket. It's a heavy-duty beast packing 12 high-capacity gel ice packs. Boom! Keep your core freezing cold for an hour and a half while you sort your load. Don't burn up scrapping metal out by your trailer this summer. You know the HENNCHEE guys always make good stuff. Get your purple freeze armor right now. From extra small all the way to 5XL. You lift, you throw, it doesn't shift. At HENNCHEE or Amazon. Links in the description. Go click it right now.
I'm gonna say right now that this cooling vest is actually working. 18 minutes in, and my arms are sweating, but my core feels awesome. I'm not overheating. I am sweating, but I'm not overheating. That's a big difference, really. For a $48 or $50 vest, comes with 12 ice packs, dude, and it's helping instantly. The ice packs, they slip on the inside of this vest, and then you throw the whole thing in the freezer. You freeze it and then go to work with it or whatever, you know. In my case, I'm gonna wear it while I'm out here working to see if it keeps me from having a heat stroke. You know what I mean? And if it does keep me from overheating, I say that was a well $50 well spent, for sure. HENNCHEE cooling vest. Give it a try. It worked for me. I hope you all enjoyed that product review. It is a hot day out today, and I must say this cooling vest is actually working. I am going to get rid of this scrap metal up on this bench. We're gonna break it down, sort it out, scrap it out. Okay, so diving right into what we have here at the workbench right now. We got some stainless steel sinks on top. Let's look at these stainless steel sinks. Okay, we got a faucet, and we got a way to take it apart right here. Looks like we just unscrew this doohickey. There it goes. There's a faucet, and that's probably brass right there. We need to take that apart. Oh boy, it's giving me a run for the money. I have to hold it from the inside, probably with pliers or needle nose or something. I gotta jam it up somehow. Alright, we're gonna cut that right there, and then maybe on the other side, and it should free that sink strainer part right up. Do the other side. There. And pop goes the weasel. That's brass. Okay. We need to test to see if the sink itself is magnetic. It's not. But that is. So we got to clean the steel off this bottom. There's like little steel tracks right here that got to come off. And I don't know how that's on there. Oh man, it's been spot welded. That's why I didn't give it up. There. We'll just do that. Okay, clean stainless steel. We're gonna flop it right over here for now. Instead of smacking these steel pieces off, you might You might be okay with just selling it as dirty stainless. Choice is up to you. Hey, take it easy. Yeah, these aren't that fun. It almost landed in the tin shred spot at least. But as you guys can see, there's 30 or 40 different spot welds on that. So, dude, to clean these steel tracks off of there, that might not be worth your time, dude. It might not be. That's something to think about if you're cleaning stainless steel up. Does anybody else have any other ideas on getting this cleaned up that might be easier? Because I'm at a loss. With the way they're tacked in there, it's extremely hard to get to the welds, I guess you could say. Maybe we can take a grinder to it. Let's try that. See if that would have been easier. The welds are on the inside of this track right here. Let's grind down it real quick, see what happens. That loosened it up some. I mean, not really. Maybe if you keep going at it with the grinder, maybe. I'm gonna give you guys what, from my experience, what I think to do with these after I'm done trying to clean this. Man, Ogre Camping Fan, you're taking some hits today, buddy. Come on. There. Got it. That was a pain in the butt. But this is clean stainless steel now, right? So, one thing I want to mention right now is that next time I do these, I'm just going to take the brass pieces off of the sink, and if that sink has these steel track strips on there, I'm going to sell it as dirty stainless, because trying to beat these steel tracks off was not worth the time, but we did it. I'd be just as happy with taking my grinder, cutting those brass fittings off of the sink, and then just scrap the rest as dirty stainless. That's what we will do next time, for sure. For sure. Okay. Got some scraps to go through. Let's go through some of this wire right here on the table. Right? Wires. Oh, hey, Jim, you asked how I fixed the pliers. Basically what I did is I rested this bottom portion of the nut on a steel surface, and then I basically whacked it so hard to where it mushed the metal, and it made the clippers just always tight instead of them backing off. There's no way it can back off now. I just picked up the hammer and I went at it one morning because I was tired of tightening the little screw. So, yeah. But either way, nonetheless, we can get a little tighten on it if we need to. And then smack it again if we wanted. But right there is good. so it doesn't back off and we don't have problems with cutting with it now. Hope everybody had an awesome, you know, weekend and everything. I'm back to it. Is this brass? Let's check it. Hey, it is brass. That's a whole brass pipe right there. I usually don't run in the brass pipe like that. Makes me wonder where it even came from, man. But as of so far, I think we're 17, 18 minutes in. And my arms are sweating, but my core feels awesome. I'm not overheating. I am sweating, but I'm not overheating. That's a big difference, really. For a $48 or $50 vest, comes with 12 ice packs, dude. And it's helping instantly. The ice packs, they slip on the inside of this vest, and then you throw the whole thing in the freezer. You freeze it and go to work with it or whatever, you know. In my case, I'm going to wear it while I'm out here working to see if it keeps me from having a heat stroke. You know what I mean? And if it does keep me from overheating, I say that was a well $50 well spent, for sure. I'm just making sure all the ends are cut off of this. There is some cat wire in this pile, but not enough for me to want to separate them out. So they're just basically going to go, all this is going to go on a light wire as soon as I clip the ends off, pretty much, and remove this metal and more ends. I could sort it out further, but yeah. I'd rather see the metal moving faster. The scrap moving faster. I didn't think there was that many plug ends on this, but the more I kept clipping and snipping, the more I kept finding. Usually that's the way she goes. Look at that. Flip it over, there's more. I showed this in previous videos. Sometimes I'd ball up all the plug ends in one cut and use my cable cutters and cut them all at once. That's a good way to go about it. Keeps you from having to individually snip one at a time when there's too many of the one at a times. Let's say that. Alright, I think that's about it-ish. A couple more. Right here. Heck yeah. Goodbye! I told myself, why am I in the rush to get to the scrap yard? You know what I mean? I'd rather keep working on everything we have back here and get it all cleaned up. I feel so much better and on top of things if we just held off on the scrapyard and kept sorting. Then we might get a bigger payday. These are all brand new zip ties. I'll keep that. Breakers and breakage. And plug ends, that's cast aluminum. Transformer bucket is gone. It's actually out back. Oops. There's not many of those on the table right now, so I'm cool with that. Okay, all these plug ends can go. The little cat wire plug ends are gold pinned plug ends. It's a separate category. I have been saving them up. They go in a separate basket, that little basket on top, and then the regular plug-ins go right there. Yeah, that's tin shred, MLC. Yeah. All right. Cat wire. Got some machine wire. Not a very favorable type. So that's gonna go right here. And shawoop. Yeah. Cast aluminum. But yeah, we are sorting it out, man. We're gonna get this table cleared right now. It'll do. We're trying to pull the motor out of this thing. Okay, pull that apart, clip us a couple wires, and there's a motor. It's got the aluminum fins on it, so we're just gonna bend it like that for now. Totally a-okay with selling this as an electric motor, literally just like this. I'll tin shred. Throw that in the truck once we're done with this bench full. Aluminum wire. We do have that. Goes right here. Yeah. Some garbage right here. That's tin shred for sure. Tin shred. I don't even know what this box is. Did it hardly have anything in it, to be completely honest. We got a handful of boards and some wire and another battery. Hey, we're starting to get a little pile of batteries down there we can turn in too. Got that tin shred. Green board. Tin shred. Hey, there's a little transformer. Right there for now. Come on, pop off with it for me. All right. There's maybe some random wires in here we're going to clean up too while we're there. Where'd my snips go? Huh? They got up and ran away. Anybody see them? Oh, hello, my snips. They're not here. I don't know. I'm surely we'll run into them again. We'll use this. Like a little bit of wiring harness, it seems like. I'm gonna throw this into wiring harness actually. It's got a very wire harnessy type vibe. There's the bag right there. Boom. All right. So, all right. There's a battery in this. Oh, The battery would have been right there, but there's a transformer right here. Clip, clip. Transformer. Yeah. We're getting there, man. Cast aluminum again. Plastic. I said plastic, okay? We're gonna clean this mess up. Yeah. I don't exactly know what's going on with this box, but I do see some stuff in here. We'll do these first. Y'all usually would see how I do these. I like to lay them out and remove these plastic pieces if I can, but we're gonna run our grinder down each side of this. These are called punch down blocks. Yeah. Doing that all at once cut all the wires free from that punch down block. I should be able to pull it out now. Like nicely, should be able to. There. Nicely-ish. Okay. Cut that right there. This is mainly cat wire we're looking at. The insides of cat wire. That's why this wire looks so tiny. It's what you would find inside of this blue cable. Yeah. What a mess this stuff can be. That's why I'm pretty happy that there's not many ends on there. They're just connected to the punch down blocks. Try to get them freed up from that wire. We can just recycle both of them. The wire will be almost done if I can get them cut clean right now. What do you guys think about my purple vest? Pretty mint, right? You can get one for yourself. They deliver quick too. Why not have as many advantages as you can to beat the heat this summer? That's what I told myself. And then I found out when I got this package it was a purple vest. So then, you know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you a purple cooling vest, someone can fill in that blank in the comments. 'Cause I ain't gonna say no to a product review that could potentially help me this summer. And I think it is. Like, I got sweat rolling down my arms and stuff, but like, I don't feel mentally stressed from the heat right now. And that's a big win, dude. Granted, I think most times people are going to wear a shirt underneath the vest, but yeah, I'm rocking it this way right now. And I'm not regretting it so far. Yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed the intro of this video. Didn't know any other which way to advertise that one, so. But after giving it a good solid run, I think we're going on like a half hour right now, that this purple cooling vest is actually doing its part. I feel great right now. Nice and cool. That's awesome. And I look fabulous. This vest could be awesome for all sorts of people. That's what I see. Clip. All right. I'm gonna pull these light wires up out of there and throw the rest in comm. We're gonna have some good baskets of wire to turn in. That is for sure. Light wire, you know, and we're gonna get into these next. These punch down blocks, I like taking the back plastic pieces off if I can. Usually you can negotiate that with just something small like needle nose pliers or whatever you got, man. Look at that. Boom. Get rid of the plastic. This one don't have any. This one does. Okay, we're right down to the punch down blocks. We're going to flip them to the back side and we're going to peel the backings off of them. Sometimes you get lucky and just pull them right off like this one's about to. Look at that. Open right up. On the inside of here is a bunch of brass contactors. I seen that it was yellow brass from hitting it with the grinder when I ran them along the sides here. Open them all up real quick. Opened up. They're easy. They are easy micro scraps. Okay. Now we're down to the getting the little brass contacts out of there. I just take a hatchet and I flip them up like that on something so there's a gap in between the table and the punch down block, and then you're going to punch the little pins out of there. Look at that. For the most part, it's cleaned right up, right? And then there's your pile of brass. Sometimes they have these little connectors that connect two different pins to the same pin. You got to remove those, because those won't punch out very easily. Yeah. These are very common things that I find when I go out dumpster diving, so there's a good chance that even you guys might run into these. And now you know a little bit about them. The older ones have heavier pins. I can definitely tell that. Okay, punch them out. It doesn't take much to get them loose either. Look at that. Every now and then you get some that don't want to go. Just give them another whack. There. basically. And we're building a nice little pile of brass right now, just off these little gizmos. Kind of satisfying in a way when they punch out that nicely. Yeah. These have some sort of a tin coating on them so they don't look yellow, but they are yellow brass. That's the category they're going to go into. Little connectors. Those plastic ones do the same thing as the metal tab pieces. They just connect 2 pins in a row from left to right. Yellow brass right there, baby. Throw that in our bucket. That's easily a good 2 pounds in my hand right there. Now imagine if you had a couple hundred of those and you were able to do them fast. You definitely make money on it. Decent money too. Dang right. We gotta figure out how this thing opens up. Maybe like that. It responded to that. Board. Yeah, it is a green board. And I don't know, I gotta clean that plastic up off of there, I think. Somehow. There. I'm sure there's some kind of clip that I'm missing, but that does the same thing. Bada boom. This bad boy. I don't see how it opens really, so maybe I'm suggesting this. Maybe. There's another board. Oh yeah, I'm seeing how it was wanting to go together or come apart. Yeah. Okay, it looks like we got it a little easier. And it looks like we're getting pretty close to just ripping it out of there. It's gonna want me to open this unit. We can do that. There. I believe that's some sort of a backplane board. I'm not too specifically sure on that, but I feel like it's a backplane board. It's got a lot of gold connector pins on it. I would assume that this is a high-grade board. Maybe the same with this unit. It's got a lot of gold connector pin ends on it. And it made one heck of a plastic mess too. I guess maybe that's the downside of smashing it apart with a hatchet. In my case, I wasn't trying to figure out how it came apart. We opened it. And we, you know, we opened it, we scrapped it, we finished it, and we cleaned up. and we finished that bench of scrap metal. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at the bench again. And tomorrow is Wednesday, so we do go to the concrete jungle. HENNCHEE cooling vest. Give it a try. It worked for me.